Welcome in, team, and today we're doing a beginner workout, green level, so it's suitable for anyone. If you are wanting to get into fitness, or if you're taking a bit of a break, you'd like to do a pretty, like an active recovery type of day, if you do lift a lot of weights or run a lot, this is perfect for you. So if you want to skip straight to the workout, which you can because the movements are quite simple today, check the description below. There's going to be a chapter marker for that. Otherwise, stick around and I'm going to talk you through the movements in today's workout. 24 minutes, 25 minutes, thereabouts, and we're filled with some pretty fundamental movements. The first one of them is the squat. So we're going to be doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, kicking off with a squat. And the way that you do your squats, if you've never done them before, breaking it right down to basics. You want to start off with your feet about shoulder width apart. Now this could change. If you've got some issues with your hips or you've got some core bracing issues, it might be easier if you squat with wider feet. Some people can actually squat with their feet all the way together here, but a good starting point is feet about shoulder width apart. Notice how my toes are pointing out slightly. They're not parallel like on railway tracks. They're pointing out slightly. That's because when I bend my knees, you see how my knees go out slightly. So the safest way to squat, or the least risky way to squat, is to bend with the motion of your knees going over your toes. There's going to be lots of advanced ways of squatting outside of that later on, but for today, I want it all lined up for low risk movement. So feet shoulder width apart, we're going to push our butts back, we're going to keep our chest and heads upright. We want to sit down, keeping our heels flat on the floor. We actually want our whole foot flat on the floor, but usually with beginners what we'll see is this. You're just going to keep your heels down and go down as low as you can. If you can get your hips to your knee level, perfect. And then using your glutes, quads, and hamstrings, thrusting up. So standing up nice and straight. Things to note, right? We're not leaning over. We want to keep our shoulder blades back, keep our heads up, try and keep a nice natural arch in the back, and squeezing the butt as we get to the top. So 30 seconds worth of squats, first movement. Second movement is the plank. So that's why I've got the mat here. We're gonna roll this out. Now a plank is a full body core bracing movement, or hold I should say. What you're gonna do is forearms on the floor. Make a fist, grab that fist, make sure your shoulders are stacked over the elbows, pushing your legs back, squeezing your butt and squeezing your quads. So now we've got a nice straight line between our shoulders, hips and ankles, and breathing into the belly. So if you haven't done a plank before, you might actually find that 10 seconds is enough. It's a 30-second hold or a 30-second interval that we're doing. So I'd like you to do 10 seconds or a max plank, drop to the floor, count to 3, and then get back up into it. So if you can hold 30 seconds, please do. Otherwise, hold for as long as you can, take a break, and then bring it back up, finishing the round or the 30-second rep off at the end of it. So after our planks, we then have calf raises. We're gonna pop over to something, if you need balance, hold onto a vertical or a door frame or a wall or whatever. If you don't, just make sure your feet are about shoulder width apart. And what we're gonna do, standing up nice and tall, hips push forward, shoulder blades pull back. We're gonna pop up onto our toes and down. So for the first 20 seconds, we're just gonna be holding our calves. We're gonna hold and down. So it's a second hold up here and then down. And then for the last 10 seconds, we're gonna go double pace, double speed, okay? So the biggest thing to note when you're doing calf raises is the balance might be a little bit off. That's why I was saying, you're gonna come over here. If you find you're up on your toes, like, oh, grab onto something, okay? So we're not necessarily using this pole to lift ourselves up with. We're just gonna use it there so we don't fall over, okay? So after our calf raises, we're then gonna do the reverse plank. Yeah, you remember planking on Instagram? That was a silly plank. Very silly kind of plank. Spider. So the normal plank is actually face down. What we're gonna do with the reverse plank is face up. We're gonna start by sitting down, feet out in front of you. Okay, straight legs. We're gonna pop our hands just behind our hips, because what we wanna do now is squeezing the butt, squeezing the hamstring, and pulling our shoulders back into extension. Lift the butt up. So we're gonna aim for a nice straight line from the shoulders, hips, and ankles. I'm gonna hold this for as long as we can. The best part about this is if it's too much, you just take a seat, breathe, and then resume, okay? So this one's all about the posterior muscles. Reverse plank is one of those lesser known planks. Yeah, it's a level 2 plank. it's well worth learning when you're a beginner because it's going to help you with so many muscular movements later on down the track, especially the shoulders being in extension. It's good for dips, good for muscle ups when you get good at that. And then also the posterior, so the glutes and the hamstring, important for so many other movements as well. So after the reverse plank, we're gonna go into elbow raises. Again, down on the floor here. Elbow raises, they may not look like much, okay? So what we're gonna do is bring ourselves basically laying flat on our backs. Our elbows are gonna come out about 45 degrees. And what we're gonna do, drive your elbows in the floor and then a bit of a sit up and bring it down. So you see I'm hinging at my hips, I'm driving my elbows back and I'm lifting my upper body off the floor with my elbows and then lowering myself down nice and slowly. So back and down. So it's not a huge range of motion, but what we're doing at this point is we're actually using our upper back muscles. We're using our postural muscles to pull ourselves back, okay? And these muscles up the top here, the top back, it's actually quite hard to engage those muscles using body weight movements and no equipment. If you've got a pull-up bar or you've got a cable row, you can activate those muscles. But using just before, this is how we can actually start to turn on those postural muscles, which again, very, very important. How many times do I say, pull your shoulder blades back, pull your shoulder blades back? That's what we're doing with those. So after our elbow raises, we're then gonna do clam shells. If you're a runner, or if you're doing things on your feet, if you like to hike, this is a very, very important movement. I'm gonna just lay down like this. We're gonna start on our sides, right? So, whole body down flat. We're then gonna bring our knees into 90 degrees. So you see how my feet, my hips, and my shoulders are in line. So ankles, hips, and shoulders are straight in line. 90 degrees in the legs, keeping the heels together. I'm gonna raise that and bring it down. So I'm raising the knee and bringing it down. And what I'm trying to do is actually not let my hip roll backwards. I want the hip to remain forward, raising and down. So when you keep your hip pressed forward, what's happening is you're actually activating the glute med and a couple of these other muscles on the side of your hip and the side of your butt, which are very, very important for hip stability and for knee stability. Yeah, helps out your LARPing game, this one. Bow and arrow, yes, for sure, boy. So, clam shells, we're gonna do 30 seconds on one side, 30 seconds on the other side. So we start and we roll over, okay? So we're gonna watch that timer. 15 seconds on one side, 15 seconds on the other side. After clam shells, we're then gonna do flutter kicks. So is the sequence important for these? Not so much, Paulie. That's a good question in chat there. So these ones, I have tried to split up the core and the other movements. If you're watching this, you see that I'm doing sort of a plank and then something else and then flutter kicks and then something else. So we're not stressing the core too much. But if you'd like to change the sequence, I don't mind. There's not much else keeping it in line with this one. Yeah. So we're now gonna do our flutter kicks, which is basically laying on the floor, hands out to the side about 45 degrees. You're gonna raise those feet about 10, 15 degrees, and we're gonna perform some kicks. Now you see, they're not up like this. Flutter kicks are not up high. We're actually trying to keep them down as low as we can with straight legs without your feet touching the floor. And this here, this height, is what's gonna stress and work your lower abdominals much more. So, a couple of rules with flutter kicks. Straight legs, and you're starting off nice and low, and you don't let your feet touch the floor. Yep, cool. So after flutter kicks, the last movement we've got is the lunge morning. So we're back up on our feet, and remember how I was talking about the importance of your glutes and your hamstrings? This one we've done in plenty of workouts before, and what we're gonna do, same deal as every other time. We're gonna take a lunge forward, so stepping forward, and then as we get to the top, hinging at the hips, perform a good morning. Now a good morning is making a number 7 with your body. So you're keeping your legs as straight as possible. You see, I get a little bit of a bend in my knees. That's fine. If I try and minimize that bend, I wanna make sure that I'm holding my back in a nice neutral position, and then I'm using my glutes and my hamstrings to thrust forward. So down and forward. So that's the good morning. We're doing a complex. We're gonna lunge, 90 degrees in each leg. I'm using the quad and the glutes here to press myself back up and then perform a good morning. So we're alternating lunge and then a good morning. Cool. They're all the movements, all right? So what we're gonna do is put our watches into calorie tracking mode, press go on that one, and start this workout. We're gonna start off with the squats. 30 seconds worth of squats. All of these movements that we're doing today, 30 seconds on and then a 30-second rest in between to reset yourself and read the screen, see what's next. And we're going through the whole lot 3 times today, okay? So just warming up. If you haven't warmed up already, use this first round to get into the swing of things. Sitting down and standing up. So 30 seconds worth. You don't have to go much faster than what I'm going right now. And I want you to think about every single squat that you do, okay? Think about the motion. Think about engaging the right muscles. Mind muscle connection is very, very important for beginners because we want to make sure that we're firing everything that's meant to be working. You know you can feel when something's off later on down the track. We want to learn about how our bodies move. Good. Take a rest. Take a rest. As you're resting, this becomes a little bit more important when we start doing some higher intensity activities in the blues and the purple workouts. Make sure you don't just sit on the floor and rest. We're making sure we're walking around, shaking our arms, shaking our limbs, because we want oxygenated blood to pump around the body and help us recover. If you just lay on the floor, it's all gonna pool and you're not gonna recover quickly. Okay, plank. Let's get this mat out. On the forearms, stack those shoulders over the elbows, push the heels back, straighten those legs, engage the quads, engage the glutes. Breathe into the belly. Notice my shoulder blades. My shoulder blades are pressing down towards the floor as I push my spine up towards the ceiling. I was waiting for that beep. 5, 4, 2, 1, and done. Good, 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 good. All right. Nice. So after our plank, we're going on to the calf raises. So remember this one, I'm gonna stand over here by the bar just to show you what we do if we need some support, okay? Getting ready for this one. I wanna get all the way up onto my tippy toes and then down. Nice, easy pace with a 1 second hold for each raise. Ready? Up, hold, down. Hold and down. So if you are lucky enough or fortunate enough to have a step up platform, or if you've got a set of stairs, you can actually get a little bit more bang for your buck with this one if you're standing on the edge of a ledge. So you can actually get your feet into a bit of a, like that, a bit of a deficit. Okay, last 10 seconds, double time. Standing up nice and straight. Remember, push those hips forward. Shoulder blades back, standing tall. Nice, and 10 seconds worth of fast calf raises. You can't tell me that you don't feel that. You know, the first 10, 15 seconds, you're like, oh, these are easy. Why are these in the workout, Jeff? And in the last 10 seconds, as you double speed it, double time, oof, oof. Okay, let's hold this reverse plank now, team. We're gonna pop down on the floor, get ready for it. So pushing the feet down, the knees down. We've got our long, straight legs. Hands just behind the hips here, okay? We're gonna push our butts up towards the air. Now, straight legs. This is all about the glutes and the hamstrings. Those shoulders pressing back behind you. Hands pressed down into the floor. If you have wrist issues, watch. Put your hands out to the sides like this, okay? So if you've got issues with your wrists and your wrists hurt, you can go fingers to the sides and slightly increase that angle between the palm and your forearm. As long as you're working those same posterior core muscles back here, okay? Cool, elbow raises. So just shaking out that plank, walk around a little bit. And we're gonna lay down on the floor. 30 seconds worth of raises. How are you going, Paulie? How are you feeling with everything? PC gamers know the struggle with the wrists. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna pretend you're an archer. You're a larper. Nice. So try and minimize how much core you're using in sitting up. Try and press your body up towards the ceiling. Press that chest up using your back muscles. Good. You see how I've got a little bit of a hold at the top here too? I'm up, hold, and down. And down, good. Good, good, good. Okay, we've got clamshells now. Things are burning. Fantastic, Paulie. So on YouTube, let me know in the comments below how you went with this workout. If you got stuck on a certain thing, even if you have questions about any of the movements, please let me know. I read all of the comments. So I'm gonna start on my right-hand side here. I'm gonna bring my ankles, hips, and shoulders in line. I'm just gonna lay down here, and what I'm gonna do, keep my heels together, open that clamshell, and down, keeping the hips pressed forward. Now, if you're doing this right here, that's where you feel the muscle. And where I've got my hand, you'll feel that activate, okay? So we go 4 reps, and I'm gonna roll over, and we'll do another 4. Good. Bit of a hold at the top. There we go, good stuff, good stuff. Okay, we got our flutter kicks. So again, I'm gonna shake it out, I wanna stand up because you know, this is gonna burn. If you've not done any sort of ab workout or core workout in the past, flutter kicks are where a lot of people actually start to go, ugh. And speaking of boot camps earlier, the Navy SEALs and Buds Week, they love their flutter kicks, especially in the surf. They often get you back to the waves, laying down, flutter kick. And the reason they do that is because you can't see the waves coming at you. And so you've got to be prepared to hold your breath at any given moment in time as a wave sloshes over your face, and then breathe when you can. So remember, straight legs. We want to not let our feet touch the floor. Hands out to the side for stability if you need it. And kicking, kicking, kicking. We got 5 more seconds. Keep going, keep kicking. Good. Nice work. Nice work, team. We've got the lunge mornings now, so I'm gonna clear my mat out of the way. Did thousands of flutter kicks during your go ruck. Yeah, how good's go ruck, Paulie? I've been meaning to ask you, mate, because you've mentioned it a couple of times, and it's one thing I haven't done any go ruck stuff, but I know the pants are very cool. He was rough. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, sweet. Okay, so go lunge, and then good morning. So for those who don't know, Go Ruck is it's a sort of training event. It's an event where you rucking itself is the art of putting on a heavy backpack and then walking a lot. So covering lots and lots of kilometers with a backpack. But I'm pretty sure, like what you've said there, they've started adding in other kind of sucky elements to it. And I use the term sucky. 1 minute rest. I use the term sucky in terms of that pure militaristic suck. The challengers have a lot of PT, yeah, a lot of physical training for sure. There is one that I've done. It's called the suck. Decker, Nicole Decker and Nicole and Joe Decker run a fitness challenge called the Suck. And it's fantastic. It's like that. You gotta have a 20 kilo pack, and take it everywhere you go. Do stupid things with big rocks, etc., etc. 22 miles with 30-pound packs plus water. Whoa, nice. Okay, here we go. Squats back into it. Yeah, lots and lots of starts off with a welcome party. That sounds fun. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I used to do a lot of that stuff for fun. Obviously, things change as you start to like run your own business. You can't just head off and do all this stuff. I've also got relationships to maintain, and just life balance things. I'm cool with setting up training for things like marathons and whatnot though. I'm so looking forward to that. It rained the whole time as well. Oh, Paulie. Okay, we got the planks. Crab walks, push-ups, sit-ups, 8-count bodybuilders, jumping jacks. Whoa. So good. Okay. Just quick query, guys. Is my camera much darker than it used to be, or is it just my eyes? I think it looks all right. Okay, let's go. Plank. Seems fun. Sweet. Thanks, Super Random. Okay, here we go. Holding a plank for 30 seconds. Remember what I told you, if you can't hold it for 30, I am absolutely fine with a 10-second hold, taking a break and then popping another 10-second hold. There's a reason why I never get upset at people that can't hold a long plank. Because planking is one of those funny ones which actually shows, it's not major, okay, cheers Grace. Planking is one of those things that shows when your transverse abdominals break down and actually disengage. And that's something that can be trained. And if you persist through a plank when your transverse abdominals stop working, you can actually lead to some issues because other parts of your body start to take over. Your shoulders and your back, especially. Your lower back starts to take over. Here we go. Hey kitty, how you going? Calf raises. So we're gonna go at a nice controlled pace, holding at the top for about a second. Oop, down. Let's go. And down, up, and down, up, and down. Good. And I forgot to go fast, didn't I? I was thinking too much. Next round, third round, we're gonna go fast on those ones, okay? Let me just fix this up. Connect to that one, there we go. That might have something to do with it. Okay, we got a reverse plank, so we're gonna bring this mat out again. So we've got our comfortable spot. Yeah, Mel, that's so good. That is so good. Okay, so hands behind the hip level. You can go out to the side if you need to as well, but we're gonna push our hips up towards the ceiling, hopefully making a nice straight line. So you wanna think of like an inclined plane, one of Archimedes' mechanisms here, okay? So heels digging into the floor, squeezing the butt, squeezing the hamstrings, pushing the hips up, and down, there we go. Shaking it out, elbow raises next. Yo, absolutely smashing it. Mel, you held a plank for 30 seconds when you tried a month ago, it was 50. That's a 100% increase in plank ability right there. Oof. Okay, elbow raises. Bip, 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 bip. 3, 2, 1. So it's not a lot of movement. You can see here, I'm literally just moving myself, not even 30 centimeters, I'd say. But it's the engagement of those right muscles. You can't tell me that a plank is an effort and you're not actually moving at all during a plank. So don't ever judge a movement by how much your body travels. Good, because it's the activation that matters. And like I said right at the beginning there, we're thinking about that mind-muscle connection, about what muscles are activating throughout each movement there. Wide ride, happy time zone. Oh, good. Awesome, can I get some beasts in chat, please, for wide ride? We're doing another one right now. We're actually doing we're doing a beginner's workout now. I'm gonna pop down on the floor. Here we go. So, clamshell, raising that left leg, the left knee. I'm making sure that my ankle, hips, and shoulders are in line. And it's just opening enough so that I get those glute medis popping. And roll over, here we go. Up, down, up, down, good. Keeping the hips pressed forward and making sure that the hip doesn't roll backwards. Nice, nice. Flutter kicks. So I'm gonna shake that out. Get ready. Which workout did you do, wide ride? And do you feel it today? Do you feel any muscles that are sore today after that? Or are you pretty good? Okay, here we go. Laying down. We've got, is it like 23 beginner workouts on YouTube now? Okay, hands out to the side. Flutter kick, flutter kick. So the trick to this one is learning to brace your core enough that you can actually talk and breathe at the same time. So breathing into the belly whilst you flutter kick. Because especially in boot camp, we were talking about boot camp earlier, they're probably gonna ask you to do that for 3, 4, 5 minutes at a time. So you do need to be able to get oxygen in whilst you're doing those. Clamshells are one of your PT exercises for hip. Yep, Grace knows this. She was given a variation of clamshells to help with her knee pain because it was part of the glute medials that weren't firing properly that led to the knee pain. So yeah, 100%. Clamshells are very, very important. And I realized I hadn't actually included clamshells in any of my workouts here. Okay, lunge, good mornings. So lunge, torso. So what we're doing, torso upright as we lunge, and then hinging at the hips, keeping that spine 100% neutral. So lunge, good morning. Lunge, good morning. 90 degrees in each leg as you lunge, and then perform that good morning. 90 degrees, and then good morning. Good, nice. Okay, one more round, team. How you all feeling? Stairs are an enemy after these workouts. You got it. You don't have a very good range of movement with the elbow raises or reverse plank, Paulie. Okay. That's not surprising. So you remember, so Paulie, you remember how when I did that reverse plank, you said, oh, that's next level. It is indeed next level. A reverse plank is not super easy to do. So what we're doing here now is I suppose outlining some areas of opportunity for you. So don't feel bad, Paulie, when you can't do them. What I want you to do is put a little thing in your mind that says, hey, I should do more of these to get some practice in, okay? Hey coach, how you going? Coach Zach, welcome in, mate. Thanks. We put a lot of effort into this setup. Squats, let's go. So this is also my studio where I do PT with clients. So I do have a lot of pride in keeping this, number one, not only looking good, but maintained, clean and functional for our clients here. So getting these squats in, making sure your heels remain flat on the floor. We're pushing our butt back. We're engaging all the right muscles, quads, glutes, hamstrings, pressing the hips forward as we get full hip extension at the top of those squats there as well. Well done, team. That was the last set of squats. We're moving through the last round of this workout as well. So, plank. We're gonna get the mat out into the middle of the room. You did the beginner bodyweight number 1. Fantastic, well, right? Well, what better place to start than at the beginning, right? Yeah, inviting and comfortable, Zach. 100%. Are you, well, you're named coach, so I'm assuming, okay, getting this plank. I'm assuming, Coach Zach, that you were also a fitness professional. Glad you found us, mate. Welcome in. It's always good to meet new friends. And yeah, 100%. One of the reasons why people do work with me is because this isn't a public gym. And you'll find that sometimes there is a bit of social anxiety. Beep, there we go. Around going to a big open public gym, especially when you're early in your journey and you're not 100% comfortable with what you're doing. So that's what I like to do, is when there are people that do want to work with me one-on-one, we come into this private facility. I bring the doors down. Yeah, people filming, look, it's a thing. It's a contentious topic, isn't it? People filming. I've got nothing against people filming, calf raise, let's go. Filming their own progress in things because they're proud of what they're doing. I think that's fine. But, you have to understand privacy laws wherever you are. So you can't just go in and start filming anywhere you want. Okay, let's go, double time. Speed these up. This is where you're gonna feel these calf raises now. If you're doing them right, you're gonna feel it all the way from your ankles up to your glutes. That strain is gonna go all the way up the hamstrings. Yeah. I saw someone on TikTok recently that was filming inside a locker room. They were doing like a pose in the locker room mirror, and someone said, "Can you please turn that camera off in the locker room?" They weren't rude about it. They said, "Can you please turn the camera off?" And the guy that was posing with the camera in the locker room, like, absolutely exploded at the person that asked him to turn it off. And it's like, hang on, mate. Let's get this reverse plank in, let's go. You're filming in a change room. You actually don't have the right, and it's actually unlawful of you to be filming in a change room. So you've got no right to go off at someone that's asked you to stop filming. That was hilarious. It wasn't hilarious, it was actually a little bit funny to watch. Funny as in ridiculous. And bring it down, good. Yeah, look, I don't mind people working out to share as like a form of accountability, that's fine, but privacy laws, right? Yeah, Roden, how you going? We've got elbow raises to do, so again, do your best, Paulie. Have a shot of this, mate. Let's get the last round in. Do everything you can to activate those back muscles. Like you said, be like an archer, but it's like a two-handed archer. Let's go. So you can hinge at the hips, press those elbows into the floor, and lower yourself slowly. What's important with this is time under tension. So don't just flick up and then fall to the ground. You wanna make sure you're pressing your torso and your chest towards the ceiling and lowering yourself down using those back muscles, those upper back muscles. Good. Let's go. You got 7 more seconds. Keep it rolling. Press the chest up and lower it down. And nice, take a break. We have clamshells next. Thanks for the follow. Oh, Airroad and Coach, yeah, thank you. It definitely isn't good enough, for sure, Grace. And that's why I said it's a contentious topic, isn't it? There are definitely arguments one way and the other way. Yeah. You got the hang of it? Good stuff, Paulie. Okay, let's go. Clamshells in 3 seconds. Gonna get myself set up on the right-hand side. So, laying down on your side, hips, ankles, shoulders, all together, and then the heels remain together, and your hips push forward as you open that clamshell. So bring that upper knee towards the ceiling. Don't let the hip rotate back, and roll over. I got 3 good reps in there. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Just remember that if you feel like you need some more reps, if you're watching this on YouTube, you've got that power. You can pause the video and you can do a few more reps. Don't think that this is the prescription and you must abide by it, especially with workouts. Everyone's slightly different. And I'm doing these online to give people a bit of motivation to do something, a bit of a framework to work around. But if you need to change things up a bit for your own circumstances, please do. So flutter kicks now. Oh, Grace, 100%. Yeah. Absolutely. Privacy first. Always think about that when you're filming things. With a number of people out there that are starting to do, like, amateur influencing, if that makes sense, if that's a good term to use. The people that social media accounts, a number of cameras everywhere. Privacy rules exist for a reason. 3, 2, 1. Good, nice. Same thing exists in here too. I've got clients that like to take videos of themselves. And the thing that I do ask them, obviously, if they want to get a video of themselves doing some workout here, then it's like, okay, we're gonna close the doors. Because I don't want people seeing street signs that are gonna go out into the internet and go, oh look, this guy's got some cool equipment at this house, if that makes sense. Okay, we've got our lunge mornings to do. Last movement, let's go. So, lunge, and then good morning. Lunge, good morning, nice. Yeah, please don't docs. Yeah, 100% Grace, 100%. These are all very, very good points and good topics in this strange new world of the internet that we live in. And guys, we've got one more good morning to do. And there you go. So So one of the reasons that I do like to chat about whatever's going on in Twitch chat while we're doing the recording is because if you're doing those movements and you can keep your mind occupied or keep your mind off of what sort of discomforts you're going through, as long as you're keeping your mind-muscle connections going and you've got good form with everything, then just like that, the workout's done. And you can grab your journal, you can grab your app. If you're working with me, you're gonna have an app, an FFP training app, and you can tick that box. You can mark that workout as done. It'll give you a little bit of a high five to say your workout's done. And you can go about the rest of your day knowing you've done your workout. So well done to you. If you're here on YouTube and you felt that was a really, really good intensity, check out more greens. We've got blues after this, and we've got purple epic tier workouts if you really do want to test yourself. So check us out live on Twitch, twitch.tv/fit4purpose, in the mornings, Adelaide time, and we might catch you there. See ya.